Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listing Leads, and it's time to talk about Facebook advertising. But let me know, have you run ads on Facebook before, or have you not? Just a yes or no. And if you're one of those agents that has run ads on Facebook before, maybe in the past, maybe years ago, didn't get great results, just give me a no. This is our blog page, and we put a lot of content here. So when, if you want you get some downtime and you want to read what's going on, this would be a good place to go. Now, what I want to bring up though is this article right here, because I think there is what Scott calls the 10 commandments, which I want to go through this. I want to start the call here. So let me remind you, I'm getting some answers now. Have you run ads on Facebook? Are we having audio problems again, everybody? Can everybody hear me okay? And while we'll wait for that, let me know yes or no on the audio. So let's read this, because there's actually some of these bullet points are really important that it sounds like let me see if I can stop give me 1 second, guys. Is that better? So what I've done is I've taken off you can hear me talk. Let me know if you can hear me talk. Maybe you can't see me now. Okay. So it seems like I just rebooted the computer and it seems like things are getting a little bit better. So let's get on this list here, because these are the things that we definitely want you to think about when you're running ads. And at the top, we want you to get to $150 budget a week ASAP. And as he says, it's to put enough gas in the tank kind of thing. And the point is, when we're talking about Facebook leads, they convert from 1 to 5%. Okay. So if you have 100 leads, you might get 1 to 5 deals out of them. Okay. I talked to a lady in Texas this morning. She's run one ad, and she has 2 people from that one group of leads, which is like 12 leads, already in conversations, already looking at home. And that's great, because that's like a 20% return, right? Or 20% conversion right up. But that doesn't happen all the time. And sometimes that depends on where you are and how much competition you have going on, and just a lot of dynamic. But the norm is 1 to 5%. And the people who are converting at like 5% typically have some sort of AI technology. We have our own AI text follow-up. I'll discuss that more a little bit later. But some of the CRM companies out there also have that. So if you're auto-feeding your leads into that, I think KB Core has AI text follow-up, then they can work on it there. A little bit more about conversion. As you're getting leads, you might think that it's time to just start calling them, right? Because if you're using our Facebook ad software, you're getting phone numbers. Many times people will tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's because they don't know you. That's why it's always smarter to text your leads first, get them a little warmed up until you've asked them a bunch of questions, and then they want to talk, right? Not everybody's going to want to talk. Some of those people are just looking, but texting helps. So let's go to number 2. You can split your budget between 2 to 3 ads, but minimum $50 ad. So we can see, because there's so many ads being run here, that when people put in $50 or $75 or $100 for one ad, they get cheaper leads. Typically, that's what's happening. It's like Facebook recognizes you're giving them more money. And I'll show you how to change your budget in the system. We typically start with a $35 a week budget, which is $5 a day. And yes, you will get leads with that. I see that happening every day, right? You just get lower cost leads when you add more budget. We'll go look at that later. So number 3 says you can spend $150 per ad per week, no problem, without worry if the CPL is good. Yeah. Okay. So watch your ads when the budget is too high without freaking out. Watch your ads, your money daily, and redo edit. Okay. So we'll talk about that. Number 4, there's a way to monitor your ads inside the system, and you definitely want to be doing that, because I'll explain why in a moment. You have to run ads every week for 4 to 6 weeks. And second or third, So this little heading here where he's getting this information, it's like 8x ROI in 10 weeks is actually one of our teams is running multiple ads. And within 3 months, they've already put what, 2 people into homes, and they have 4 people pre-approved looking for homes. So as a group of 5 agents and a broker, they spent $900 a month on ads. Okay. And I'll show you what kind of ads they're running. That's $2,700 in 3 months. And in that same 3-month period, they converted 2 of those people into homes and got another 4 looking for homes. So that's where the heading comes up on the top there. And a lot of what Scott is saying in this outline has to do with that, right? It's taking that experience and putting it out here. Number 6 says use the AI text follow-up from listings to leads if you don't have another option, right? And then it says, but consider turning it off to respond personally ASAP. So the way that the AI works is it asks simple questions back and forth. You can actually see it inside of your account when you go to your leads tab. So you might look at the questions and realize, you know what, I can jump in. I know that one of our clients was saying, the person was saying they're going to go on vacation. So the AI just was waiting, but the agent reached in and said, hey, I see you're going on vacation. Let me help you now before you go. So you can actually jump in, turn off the AI follow-up and, step in yourself. And then number 8 says, don't let bad numbers knock you off your game. You're going to get bad numbers every once in a while. We don't hear about that too often. And I'll show you why in a moment, why getting the right information is just happening 80% of the time. Use the more button on the lead detail page. Oh yeah, to go find more information. We'll go look at that. And then look at their home address and see if they own it or not. Typically 50% of buyer leads own a home. And that's a true statement. Okay. So so that's like food for thought to get going. So I did ask a question and I don't see many responses. Lofty has, that's right. Lofty has that. With Blast. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's log in and look at what's going on. So first of all, let me clear a couple things out for you. Inside of Facebook, you can go and run ads inside Facebook, right? You can also put stuff on your business page and Facebook will say, hey, boost this. And a lot of you have done that. I don't recommend ever doing that again because our software here is designed to make it way easier. And in every case, we're getting name, email, and phone number. Now, if you go boost something, or if you go run an ad inside of Facebook, there's all kinds of buttons. And you can often make a mistake. You might run an ad and you're just going for impressions and not even capturing leads. And Facebook doesn't make it that easy to understand. And you understood it today, next month, they probably are going to change it. And you're not going to know how to do what you did last month, right? So inside of listings to leads, when you come to the ads page, the very first time, there'll be a blue button over here that says connect to your Facebook ad account. And you click through and you connect, and then you come back here and you can run ads. Okay. And when you're running the ad, it's going to charge your credit card on your Facebook business page. If you do not have a Facebook business page, you will not be able to run ads on Facebook. And you want to create that. That's like a very important part of real estate advertising. We see clients all over the country generating a lot of leads here and turning those leads into business. Okay. So now we're going to do that. You've got everything connected. So you go right up here and you can create 3 kinds of ads: listing ads, landing page ads, and PDF guide ads. You can also custom ads, but I don't know what's going on with Facebook because it could just waste your money. But the simplest thing to do, and what most of our clients are doing, is they're running ads on early stage homes that are for sale, open house, or is plain active. And let's just do this one here, which is open house. Okay. And this is really important. Do you see where it says lead ads? This is lead forms from Facebook. So we're integrating the Facebook lead form into the ad. And that's what you should be doing every time. Okay. And that's why I'm saying do not boost And do not go run an ad inside of Facebook in their interface because you may not know how to turn it on lead ads. And I'm going to show you what that means in just a moment. So we're going to click create ad. So you choose your property, you leave it on lead ads, and you click create ad. And we write the ad, right? That's what's going on here. We've got the photographs, we've got multiple templates, and we take some of the information and we put it up here, right? This is dynamically here. This is being pulled from the property description. It is here. This is an open house. And there's a couple things that I would do if I was running an open house. I would say open house this Saturday, right? I wouldn't put the time because you want people to text there or click to learn more and capture them as a lead. Okay. And also, I noticed that some people will, in their property descriptions, which they put in the MLS, they'll say, beautiful home at 123 Main Street, right there. Can you change the black border in the ad? Yes, no, I will do that in just a moment. So you see where I'm highlighting there in this text? If your address is there, you want to take that out. And you can actually just do that by just putting your mouse in there and backing it out, deleting, right? I'm just going to go over to Zillow and do my own for capturing the lead if they're doing that. So I really don't like to see the address inside the body or anywhere on this ad anywhere. And I don't want to see the time, but you definitely want to say, hey, it's this Saturday or this Sunday. And then here it's a 15-mile radius around where the home is, which makes a lot of sense. You don't want to change this too much. Now, Doa asks, can you please show us how to change the black border in the ad to a different color? So you see this one here, this has a red border, and this gets into something over here, which is change template. And you want to click this. This is actually very important. And I'm going to explain to you why in just a moment. When your photos come in, usually, if you paid a professional photographer, they do this story, right? They get in the front of the house and they go click and they walk into the front door. So as you're looking at photos, you have this like sensation that you're walking through the house, right? So they shoot it like that. And what happens is the first four or five photos are the same right in this ad. Okay. And so if you have that going on, you want to change those photos, and you do that by clicking this button here. Okay. And that's a pencil, and pencil always means edit. And then once you do that, there is a pencil. You can update it here. So if you wanted to change, you notice how this photo here, it's pretty, and this is the same photo over here. If you want to change it, click that update image button. And this shows you all of your photos that came in from the MLS. And it's important to choose the right ones, especially if they're for the front of the house, right? And what you could do is say, okay, I'm going to put this living room over there, right? And then you just choose one photo and you click insert, and it will replace that photo that was there with that one, okay? Now, there was a question here from Doa about how can I change that color? So Doa is saying that there's a black line around, and that is usually pulled from your profile. When you sign up, you put your logo in there, you put your colors in there, and that's what's driving here. And sometimes it's a very bland color. I see a lot of grays very often. And so when you do this the first time, this will be checked. That says use the default. That tan, you can barely see it. It's like tan because that's my branding colors. They're tan, which in a way blends in with the white in the background. And this might seem very silly or not important, but it's really important to maybe turn that off. And now I have this red, which is definitely a stronger color. What you want to think about this is, I'm changing it to blue here. These ads are showing up on the news feed of Facebook. Okay. They're not on your business page. They're not even on your personal page. They are, if you say, I want to run an ad for people living in 15 miles of Danville, if somebody lives in Danville or at 15 miles from Danville and they go to their phone or they go into Facebook, they're going to see your ad. Okay. So you're not going to see it on your business page. They're going to see it, and they're scrolling through looking at all kinds of stuff, right? They're looking at what their friends are doing and where their grandkids are and all that. And and then they see your ad. And if that color kind of fades in the background, as simple as as I'm saying this, You might want a brighter color. You don't want that color. I don't like these kind of neon things, but you get my point, right? You can change it right here. And then you apply that and you save that, and that will be saved for the next time that you run the ad. And you can run the ad right now. There's an actual video in our YouTube channel, and let me go find it real quick. It's like a cheat sheet. I think Scott calls it a cheat. It's a 6-minute video that shows you how to do what I'm doing now. And I actually emailed that video to everybody I talked to, because thousands of ads are being run through our platform every month. Okay. From agents all around the country and up in Canada and parts of the Caribbean stuff. So we can analyze ads every month and see what's working. And this template, the number one template, it generates the most and the cheapest leads. Let me show you something. When you log in and you set up a new account with us, you might notice that there are all kinds of templates, and you might say, God, I really like this template. And you set this up, and this becomes the template going forward automatically. And as I'm saying, we can tell that you'll probably pay more per lead for every lead by using this template rather than using the number one template that's over here. So that's why I have it here. And I want you to understand how you get there in case you've changed it. You can set that template on your profile so that it will always be the default. And you can also change it right here at the ad level. Okay. So are there any questions about what we've talked about? Oh, that 6-minute video. So let me show you. This is our YouTube channel. And I think on the videos page, we'll give it a second. There'll be a magnifying glass here, and type in the word cheat, because Scott put that word right here, that Facebook ad cheat sheet right there. I'm going to send that to everybody on the call right now. And it's doing exactly, Scott is showing exactly what I just showed you, but you might forget what I'm saying. So I'm sending this to everybody now, and you should save this. And honestly, after you run an ad 2 or 3 times on Facebook with our software doing that, you'll know how to do that by hand. And you don't have to do it every time you run an ad. The first time you're going to run an ad, you want to do that. Okay. So that is the simplest way of thinking of how to run an ad. For an open house, you want to do this close to the area because people are going to look. You might say, hey, I want to extend this out 30-mile radius, right? Not just 15-mile. You definitely want to be changing this. Remember where that's the minimum budget. I said the default is $35. If you expand the radius, you definitely want to be expanding your budget. And as Scott was saying up here, we really recommend doing a $50 minimum per ad. And that's what I've done right here. I changed it to $50. We definitely have clients running ads for $100, $75. You start to realize how much you're paying per lead, and you can start to pencil out how many leads you're going to get on a monthly basis or a weekly basis based on the budgets that you're running at. So there's another thing that clients want to do that is really effective. So we have a lot of clients in Florida. Okay. And Florida has a lot of dynamics going on in their real estate market right now. But one of those things is since COVID, homes have gotten really expensive, right? But the incomes aren't really growing as fast as home prices. And so we have clients who are running ads. So let's say they have a home in Tampa and they run it, and by default, it's going to run the ad in Tampa, right? And they may do a $50 ad and they will get a bunch of leads. The average cost of a buyer lead in Facebook for an ad like this is $3. Okay. So that is the average cost. We definitely see leads coming in cheaper, like $1.07. And I've seen leads come in at $10 each, and then we'll tell you to stop it. And I'll talk to you more about that in a moment. However, if this home was in Tampa and we ran the ad, and I literally have a client who's not in Tampa, he's in like Southeast Florida, not a little bit north of Miami, running local ads just like this, which would make sense. But then he's running other ads. So he's getting leads from the Florida market. But then he takes the same exact listing and he runs an ad in New York City, gets leads from that too. Who do you think is responding to him more? The folks from Florida or the folks from New York? The folks from New York are responding to his leads much quicker. Okay. So Andrea has an open house on Saturday. How much should I run starting today? What day is today? Wednesday? I would say $50. And let me speak to that. Are we able to create video ads in there? Yes. Wait a second. Oh, are you in New York, Andrea? So let me say a couple things about ads. So this week I was helping a lady, a new client of ours, and we were running a few ads, right? And when you run an ad, if I click this button right here, that's going to create the ad. There's going to be a little window over here, and it's going to say over on the bottom left, it's going to say that ad was created successfully. Okay. And that's good. That means it's been pushed to Facebook, but Facebook still has to approve it. Okay. And I've seen that get approved in 20 minutes, but I've also seen it get approved in 24 hours. And this is important for Andrea, who has a open house this weekend, because almost every Friday we have some poor agent calling our support team saying, hey, I got to run this ad. I got an open house tomorrow. Let me tell you, if Facebook doesn't approve that for 24 hours, your ad might be visible for like an hour or two before your open house. So please get your ads in on Tuesday or Wednesday. And for you, Andrea, that would be today, right? And so you want to shape it like this. The one thing I do like inside this text here, and we see it very often, but like how many bedrooms, right? How many baths? Just make that easy, right? Also, over here, I don't know why it's looking kind of weird like that, but if your home has a pool, make sure that pool is visible in one of these. And I've actually seen a client of ours in Texas generate 114 leads from one listing. And the picture that his main photograph had the pool in the backyard. This was in Texas. Okay. So he generated 114 buyer leads, kept running ads on this home. He got 4 of those people into homes. Okay. So to generate 114 buyer leads, multiply that by 3, and you can expect that he spent about $350. But if you put 4 people in homes from that lead set, that's a lot more than $350, right? That commission is a lot more than that. So there's a great ROI. And by the way, that guy, Brian, who did that, is using his own AI text follow-up to work those leads as well. And he's very good, very conscious about converting leads. And he converts at the higher range, right? Like 5%. And that's, if you want to be converting 5% of your leads, you're going to need some kind of AI text follow-up, because you have to have a larger budget to get a good volume of leads. Okay. So let's go look here. So is this applicable for Nigerians? Yes. I mean, I think they have the internet and Facebook in Nigeria. I'm not quite sure that. I haven't been there myself. Is it okay to show 2 pics of the interior or just one and the rest exterior to get more clicks? That depends. Let me repeat that, because I just read that question. Is it okay to show 2 pics of the exterior or just one and the rest exterior to get more clicks? And whatever is like the most eye-popping photos, that's what you want, right? Maybe you've got just some incredible landscape and pool and things like that. So, you want to lead with that, right? So let's see here. And then it says the max I get is about 12 leads per ad. So I'm just trying to figure out how to increase them. The reason that you're getting 12, how much are you spending on a ad? When you run an ad, is it $35 or is it $50? And if you look here, I'm looking at some old ads, and you see this, it says, now this is a demo account, so I don't actually run a lot of live ads, but I have them so you can see them. So you can learn a lot here. And you can learn a lot about your business in Facebook here, right? So if I run an ad, you notice this number here, it says reach 204 people. Okay, that means 204 people saw the ad. This 3 here is leads, and you're going to know that you got those leads because we emailed them to you, and we put them over here in the leads tab. And that's where you should start kind of working through your leads, right? And Okay. Then there's CPL. CPL means cost per lead. And this is really important here, guys. When I say the average cost of a buyer lead is $3, that's because some of them are $2.12 and some leads are $6.28. Nationwide, they average out about $3, but it's important for each one of you. And I literally mentioned I helped this lady run some ads in Los Angeles this week. And one of her ads is generating leads at $3.50, which isn't bad. There's a lot of competition in LA. Lead costs a little bit higher. But the other ad is generated one lead at $11 each. Okay. That's a problem. Because if the average is 3, you don't want to be spending what? 3 times the average. So when your ad is active, this button up here will be green like this and on. Okay. And if they're charging you $10 or $12 or even $20, we see some really ridiculous numbers. Go in here. So every morning, come back into your ad account and look at what your cost per lead is. And if it's staying around $3 or $5, let it go. If it's $10 or $11, turn it off right here and just stop that. And then you can go rerun the ad right away. Same property. You don't even have to change a thing, and you'll probably start getting leads much cheaper. Okay. There's also a time, remember, like I said, the average lead cost is $3. And you see this one is $3.03 per lead. Okay. And but if you see your lead cost is like $1 or $1.50, then you should click edit and you should put more money in it, right? Because we're telling you to spend minimally $400 a month on Facebook. If you're just doing buyer lead, divide 400 by 3, and you'd expect 133 leads every month. That kind of makes sense. Your ad, click budget and change that from 35 to, what do you say, 50 or 100? Because now you're getting 100 leads for $1 each with name, email, and phone number. That's really valuable. So that you want to monitor that by checking your ads page every day. After the first, if you're just doing 1 or 2 ads, you can check them like the first 24 hours and see what's going on. They don't really change over a 7-day period. So Doa's got a question. She's saying, I only get maximum 12 leads for a $50 ad. That's what's happening, right? And so what you're learning, though, when you go look at your ads page like this, you're going to see that your average lead cost is probably more like $4. Where are you in the country, Doa? So if you divide 4 into 50, that would get you about 12 leads, right? So that's what's going on. When I tell you this is the average, like I can tell you, we have a lot of clients in Florida and there's a lot of ads. And I've seen the average sometimes looks like it's between $4 and $5 each per lead in Florida, right? In parts of Texas, sometimes it's way cheaper. Let's see. So Andrea's saying, if I have a real estate video series I want to promote, can I use the LDL to have? Yes, you can. And depending on the kind of thing that you're doing, let me give you an example. First of all, running video ads can be very smart for you. And Andrea's invested in creating that kind of video. So you might say, hey, what do we want to market to get people to pay attention to? Maybe it's my home value page for Walnut Creek, right? And I'm going to leave it on lead ads because I want name, email, and phone number, and I'm going to create an ad. And this is how you create a landing page ad. Okay. We create a lot of landing pages by default. As soon as you sign up, instruction, free home value, first time home buyer. I created a home value landing page for Walnut Creek. And that picture that you see is it's in the local mall, right? So that's like everybody in Walnut Creek knows what that is. Now, I could say, if I was Andrea and I had this video and I'm talking about Walnut Creek, I could say, hey, you know what? What's your home worth now? And I would say 30 homes sold last month. And maybe it's 100 for the year and the high is here and your home's value. You can wordsmith that. But right here, you could say, hey, I want to click here and upload my video and put it so they can still click on it. You can still capture leads, but you're getting that video out there. And when you run an ad for, let's say, $50, probably 1 to 3,000 people will see that video. Okay. You don't, and so, yeah, the average, I don't know the average lead cost in Canada. I only really know it in the US. A lot of our clients who are focused on getting more listings will do video ads, and then they'll do other ads that kind of support getting seller leads. But the video ad is really awesome for your branding. So definitely we recommend that to everybody. So let's go see the rest of the questions here. You can do it. Yeah. Jim, Facebook has notified me that I have leads to download, but they're not appearing in the leads tab of L2L. That's weird. I would send that to support, Jim, because I'm not sure what, normally it's all, any of our leads are dropped right into here. And if you connected your CRM, we drop it there too. Tamika, do you personal help coach creating ad? Sometimes Scott and I get on the phone with people. I'm always talking to agents. As you can see, it's not very difficult. And what you don't want to do, let's just go run an ad real quickly over here on listing. You don't want to customize it too much. And the way that we write the ads may look different to what you've been doing in the past. But like I said, we have thousands of ads being run every month and they work. So if you're thinking, oh, I want to do something totally different, you certainly can. You can customize things the way you want. You just may not get the kind of results that our clients are getting. And I've seen agents do all kinds of weird stuff. And the weird thing that I want to just be real clear with is they write a big old long, big paragraph, like 2 or 3 paragraphs of the information. When you see, I've got a home here, it's sold. And the text is very simple. Hey, another home in Auburn, affects your home value, click here. And what does an agent want to do? They go in here and they write Moby Dick. And there's this big old long thing that people don't want to read, and they don't read and they don't respond to the ad. So at least don't go adding a whole bunch of text there, right? Since this is sold, there are some things I would highly recommend that you do. If you've sold a home, I would say, hey, if we sold that above asking, right, put that in the body of the ad. That's important information. If you got multiple offers, that's important too. If a homeowner is seeing, whoa, you got a bunch of offers and you're getting good money for it and you did it quickly. And even with high interest rates, when the interest rate things move real fast in a lot of markets, you want to add that to your sold stuff. Notice I'm not making it too wordy, just real simple. That's really the key, right? Now, this is a $50 ad. Remember when we were doing buyer ads, the budget was $35. But when we're doing seller ads, Facebook charges you more for listing leads than buyer leads, right? That kind of makes sense. On average, when you run an ad on a home that is sold, those leads cost $7 each. So if you're running sold ads and you divide 7 into 50, you would expect about 7 leads. Okay. That's how that works. Okay. Do you have any data on getting leads with new listings versus not new or holding open houses that have been around? I do think that, generally speaking, than just listed, but the lead cost is about the same. Okay. And if the ad was, let's say that for some of us, homes are sitting for 2 months, right? What you can do, and what we definitely would recommend, is that you change the photos, right? So I've been showing you how to change the template and change the color and change the photos, but maybe put those photos in a different position the next time you run the ad so it doesn't look like the same ad. To be clear though, when you run an ad, and let's say it's for $50, right? Let's say you run an ad on a home that is for sale and you did it today for $50 and you do it just like this. Let's give it a second. The default budget for buyers is $35. That's $5 a day. We still recommend you would put 50 or 75. So everything is pre-written. I think who was asking me, how do we do one-on-one tutorials? I talk to a lot of agents, so does Scott. But it's actually not that hard to run this ad. You click on Facebook ad and we've written it, and you click this button and you created the ad. Now, this is the budget, 35 bucks. You can have it here. This home here is in San Ramon and 15 miles away. This gets us in what's called the East Bay. But I would tell you this, there are going to be a lot of people who work in San Francisco that like to move out to this area. And that's how you do that, right? Maybe you've got a summer, you're in a second home area, right? By a lake or by the coast or something. And you want to market to a big city, right? That's how you do that. Now, I want to also show you, right? So if you ran this ad and it was like, okay, I did good. I captured a couple of leads, but I want to change it. We could did this earlier. You click change template and you can choose the photos that you want to change, right? To just make it look a little bit different. Again, if you have a water, like if you have a pool, sometimes putting that front and center can really change your results and make it really work really well. Now, I want to pause everything here. I see a lot of questions and I appreciate them, and I'm going to hit every one of them. But I want you guys to understand one of the most important things about our ad software here. This ad software is Facebook's ad software, right? It's embedded in our platform, and we have designed it so that you don't have to click too much to have a successful ad. And one of the most important things is this piece right here. You do not have to do this, right? I'm just showing you. It's going to say what's your time frame to buy or what's your time frame to sell. And the options are things like 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and just dreaming or more than 12 months. When you see that, you can almost ignore that answer. If it says 1 to 3 months, that means you need to really help them very quickly. But when you see a lead and it says just dreaming or more than 12 months, what that really means is, yes, I'm interested. I don't want to talk to you. And we have had clients in the mastermind group say, oh my God, I got this lead. It was just dreaming. I got them in a house in 30 days. How does that happen? They're texting them, right? And the second page of this pops up. So when the person sees your ad on their phone or on their desktop, this form pops up and it says full name, email, and phone number. But the difference of what they see and what we are looking at is that those fields are automatically pre-populated from the profile of the person who clicked it. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I experience it almost once a month that I log into Facebook and it says, hey, we're going to send you a text to make sure this is you, right? Or we're going to send you an email. So if your phone number or your email is wrong in your profile, you are going to get locked out of your account at some point, right? And that is why the accuracy of this information is key. Now, you may not know this, but we have been doing this for 16 years. And each one of you in your account have more than 200 tools that capture leads, right? But nothing gets a name, email, and phone number as successfully, as quickly, and as cheaply as a Facebook ad like we're looking at right here. But let me explain one more thing about this. You see that blue button there? It says next. For the consumer, it does not say that. It says, would you like that information? Would you like your home value? Would you like that open house information? And it says, yes, submit my info. So they are looking at their contact information. They say, yes, submit that info so that I can get what I want, which is the details of your ad, right? There's even language for TCP. So even if they're on a do not call list, they have accepted and approved that you can call them. But I actually don't recommend that you call them because you know what's going to happen? They could literally click that ad, say, yes, submit my info. You get that lead. And in 60 seconds, you call them and they may say, I don't know what you're talking about, right? That happens all day long because people, unfortunately, don't want to talk to people who they don't know. I'm sure you've heard that there are scams all over the internet, all over the phone, in your text messages, there's scams everywhere, right? It's ridiculous. So if you're texting them with simple questions like, hey, I saw you're looking at that home in San Ramon. It's in this school district. Is that important to you? You wait for the answer. If they respond, great. You have a follow-up question. If they don't respond, you still have a follow-up question, maybe in an hour or two, right? And you say, hey, by the way, that was for 400 grand. Does that meet your budget, right? And you just keep dropping simple things. Do not write a big paragraph and drop it on these poor people. Nobody wants to read that on their phone. But Our over here on the lead section, and I can't take you there because then it messes up our video. On the lead section, you can subscribe to our AI text follow-up. And I think somebody was saying KV Core has theirs. There's a couple of CRMs that have that. If you're just starting to run ads, and let's say you're doing one ad a week, you're going to get 10, 12, 15 leads, right? You can probably manage running ads like that, right? Or texting those 10 leads. If you start doing 2 ads a week, believe me, in 30 days, you're going to be so busy texting, it's not going to be fun. That's when the AI comes in. Yes, I definitely recommend that you have a Facebook ad strategy for your business. You can get buyer leads here and you can get seller leads and leverage our AI to convert those leads to phone calls. Okay. So let's make sure we got all the questions answered. Then I want to show you a couple more things on how to get listings. Yeah. I just ran an ad for 3 days. Cost is under $2 a lead. Up 6 new and 3 repeat, should consider rerunning. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that means. Lead pickup, 6 new and 3. Oh, okay. So you got 6 out of those leads, 6 were new and 3 were repeat. I would consider rerunning. I would rerun that too, Neil. That's pretty good. And that was for a home for sale. That's good. Robin's saying, hey, you run from ads, but how do I choose the landing page? Good question. So if you go to ads, the ads page here, I've been focused on listings. And Robin, what kind of landing page are you thinking of running? Okay. So when I click on create Facebook ads, I can create a listing ad. You know, I can do a sold ad. I can do open house just listed. I can also do landings, right? And I do want to say that free home values can be tricky. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know if I'll be able to go into the details of why that is, but let me do this. So I have a Walnut Creek home valuation page, and I'm going to choose that page. So that's how you direct an ad. And I'm going to type in the zip code of this area so that it will pull some sales data and embed it in the ad. Now, here's the big question. Okay. Lead ads or traffic. If you run a traffic ad, it looks exactly the same, but when they click on the ad, it points them to the landing page. And that's gonna, and then they can drop in their address and their email, and they will get an instant home value, right? So you would think I want to do that. And I would tell you, I don't think you want to do that. You want a lead ad, because when you do a lead ad, just like I showed you in the other ad, we capture their information, all their name, email number, we deliver it to you. And then when we put a link in front of them, say, hey, put your address here and get your free home value. So lead ads are critical. Here's my Walnut Creek Mall. I want to point out that if I type in Walnut Creek, a lot of agents don't even go through the effort of creating a unique landing page for their market. They just go with our generic free home value one. And they don't get good results at all. And that's because we are not even talking about the market that you're hitting. So you can create unlimited landing pages. Most of you have 4 or 5 or more farm markets. You should have the instant home value page, Property Valuation Plus, for every one of those. And you can run ads with Facebook or Google. So there is a downside for me to run this ad in Walnut Creek, because you see that minimum 15-mile radius. Now, you may not know where Walnut Creek is, but it's a nice little town. It's about 30 minutes from San Francisco. Awesome shopping, lots of restaurants. It's a nice suburban kind of town, right? But I want to show you why running an ad like this, especially if you don't even create a Walnut Creek landing page, you're just wasting your money. You're really rolling the dice, and hopefully you get lucky, but you may not. Let me tell you why this, even though I created a Walnut Creek landing page, why this could waste my time and money. You noticed how when I created the ad, it said 15-mile radius, right? And over here, show you what a 15-mile radius looks like. It looks just about like this. I don't think it reaches into San Francisco here, but it reaches all this. And you know how many people live in this area? 1 million. There's only 33,000 people that live in Walnut Creek, but 1 million people are going to see my ad who this is not relevant for. I will also say this, because many of you will think, what if I create, what is my Contra Costa County home worth, right? You would think, oh, I actually had a lady create a page and put 6 different counties instead of Walnut Creek. And I was like, that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. But if you do a county like Contra Costa County, which is where I live, covers almost this whole thing in the circle here. And homes range from 300 grand here to, I don't know, 15, 20 million over here. And if I live over here or here, I want the pro in this area, not the pro all over here, because I need the expert locally. And that's why we give you the ability to create landing pages and drive leads to them. I would not use this here. I would check this box here. And I would then, if you have a custom audience, then you can go buy a list from Remine or Redx or List Source or Arch Agent. You want a list with name, email, phone number, and mailing address. You don't need the mailing address for Facebook, but you can go right over here to the ads section and you can I'll show you right now how you do it. This is really valuable for people who are trying to farm market a particular area, right? When you're trying to get buyers, you can just 15-mile radius or multiple is easy. But when you're trying to hit people who own a home in an area, you need to buy that list from one of those parties I just mentioned. You need to click create audience and then call it Walnut Creek homeowners. It has to be 1,000 contacts minimum. I have clients who have lists of 10,000, right? If you're in a big city. You upload it, you import it, it will live inside your Facebook account and you will always be able to target those homeowners with ads, right? So if you have that list ready and you say, hey, I want to create a landing page for Walnut Creek home values, instead of showing it to 1 million people, I am going to show it to the list of homeowners that I already purchased and created as a custom audience. So you would click that box and you would type in the name of your custom audience, whatever you name it. It could be Omaha homeowners, Memphis, whatever. Okay, so that is that. Okay, what criteria settings are more effective versus sellers and buyers? That's a good question, Adam, but it is a bit of a question that you as agents, and even we, cannot tweak things too much inside of Facebook in the ads, okay? So I'm on the dashboard, and every time if you're a new client, every time you come here, you will see that there's 2 buttons, one to get buyer leads and one to get seller leads. If I click buyer leads and I click Facebook, every ad that you can run to get buyer leads is here. It's already underneath these. And all the things, the criteria and settings, you don't have to think of that. You just think, hey, I want to do a PDF guide ad, right? And I want to do buyers because that's what I clicked on first. So this is going to be 40 different options for buyers. What do you want to do? And maybe you'll think, oh, let's do 6 things check before buying a home, right? Let's do that. I want lead ads. So I get name, email, and phone number. I click create ad. And your question is, what's the criteria and the settings? The criteria is, what town are you thinking of? And you type in the name of the town. And you click that button down there that says create ad. Everything else we've done in the background. So don't overthink it, because often when people do their own kind of thing, they kind of mess up the ad. Okay. And these ads work all day long, just the way they are. Okay. Just choose. Okay. I still don't understand. Eleki, what do you not understand? Oh, listingstoleads.com, a platform to run ads listings to leads does a lot more than just run Facebook ads. It is a platform that agents log into. They create an account and they have all kinds of ways to market. There's print tools, there's email tools, there's things to get more buyers, there are things to get more listings. There's incredible open house marketing toolkit. There's an unbeatable listing presentation. There's a lot here for realtors. The topic of this class is Facebook advertising. And that's all I'm talking about today. As a reminder, we have a YouTube channel right here. Let's go here. And we do all kinds of training. We do live training 5 days a week. Okay. So I'm going to send this to you now. If you want to learn about everything that we do, spend some time on our YouTube channel. Every class, including this class, is being recorded and put on this channel. Okay. And so today's topic is Facebook advertising, right? That's why I'm talking about that. But that YouTube channel will share a lot. I have a question about, I can't see it, about the headline and the description. We have to write that ourselves. The system will let us know. No, you don't have to write. Everything is written, Doa, right? So you see this down here. This is called the headline, this section underneath the graphic. And this is the area. And this is dynamically designed by us. Okay. So you have not, the only time I've said for you to even mess with this is when you're doing a sold ad and like you're going to say, hey guys, we got 5 offers and we got sold above asking. That's really the only thing. But if you're doing an open house, I say put the day in there, not the time. And if you're just doing a regular home that's for sale and it's got in a great school district, maybe you put the name of that. Say, hey, it's in this school district, or it's got a new custom kitchen, or it's got whatever kind of selling point. You could put that in there. This is social media advertising. And people who are on social media, they're scanning stuff all day long. This needs to be tight and concise, not a big old thing that you have to write. And so I don't think Chat GPT, believe me, we work with AI here as much as we can. There's no need to use Chat GPT to write this. You would probably be wasting your time and money if you messed around with our ads here. If you just run them the way I'm showing you, you're going to get leads from this. Oh, let's see. Please tell us more about how to execute AI follow-up and what it does. So over here on the leads tab, now don't forget, your leads are automatically emailed to you. We tell you the address, we tell you what they're responding to. And if you have it configured on your profile, we will drop them on your CRM as well. But on the leads tab, if I click on it, and I can't because it messes up our video, there's a button on the top left says activate AI, right? And what you want to think of is how many leads every month you plan to capture. And if you're thinking of buyer leads, and I keep telling you it's $3 a buyer lead, and you say, I want 100 leads every month, buyer leads with name, email, and phone number, then we would tell you run $300 in ads every month on Facebook and choose, when you click leads over here and you choose the AI package, choose the one for 100 leads, because it's going to work 100 new leads every month. And the leads that you got last month and the month before, it's going to keep working those until they say, no, thank you, or I'd like a phone call. Okay. So when they say, I'd like a phone call, we are going to send you that whole dialogue, the Q&A that the person had with the AI bot. That conversation is also on the leads tab. Each lead has a little bubble next to it. You can click on it, and you can see what they're answering, and you can jump in and turn off the AI if you want and just say, hey, I'm going to pick it up from here. Okay. What is the recommended duration, frequency, and ad budget on an open house and just sold to target a neighborhood? Open house, please. If you're having an open house this weekend, make sure that ad is live no later than Wednesday, because I was saying this earlier, it might take a full day. We ran a couple of ads together, and before we got off the phone, she already got a lead. So that was like in 15 minutes, it was approved and she got a lead. That was awesome, right? I don't see that happen all the time. I do see that ads get approved quickly, and I do see that ads get approved in 24 hours. Do not be that agent that runs an ad for your open house on Saturday, but you're running the ad on Friday, because it may not be live before that open house. Okay. So please know that. Okay. The duration, if the open house ends on Sunday and you ran the ad on Tuesday, we're always doing a 7-day ad, right? Now, this is not an open house, but that open house is on Sunday. So I'm going to end it on Sunday at 4:00, because now it'll be over. So you can do that as well for open house. That's where you really change it. But normally a 7-day ad that's our default. Usually you get all of your leads and spend all your money by the 5th day. That's what happens. All right. Which one for you is effective and give you quality leads? Both open house, active listings, and just sold give you quality leads. That's just the truth of it. They're different. Some are buyers, some are sellers. When changing out the L2L media to a local area photo, is there any way to apply the L2L media text overlay? Yeah, there is. But that is some kind of like in the media library, somewhere we give you like some kind of Canva functionality. So yeah, you can actually upload photos that you create your own thing in Canva and then you upload the photo. So yes, you can do that. Neil, 6 new leads. Yes. Explain about lead retargeting ad. Yeah. So again, when we're retargeting or when we're running ads on targeting let's see, advanced option, we want to retarget current leads or we want to target a custom audience. And retargeting or hitting a custom audience, it's like unique people. A lot of agents have thousands of leads in their CRM. They've been in the industry for a while. They paid who knows for all those leads. They can export them out of their CRM, upload them in through our platform on that custom audience button on the ads page, and then they can hit those leads with Facebook ads. It's a good way because probably you've got some CRM doing a drip campaign, but if you're running ads, now you're hitting them from 2 different directions. So that's what that's about. Let's see. What is this? Marisol. Do you have prefix text that you can suggest that we send the lead sign up that would get them to respond and feel no pressure? Not really, but I have said it a few times here. Whatever it is that is your ad, it might be about an open house. It might be that it's sold and offering a free home value. Respond to what they ask for and ask them if they got that and if they have questions, right? That's real simple. Hey, I saw you saw my ad on Facebook and you were checking out this open house. Give them a few data points and say, is that what you're looking for? And you can just reach out based on what kind of lead it is. The legality of automated lead import. Can we run ads to those without broker permission? I don't know what you mean there. I think you can, frankly, because legality, as I see it happening, I saw something funny, like this lady got sued for sending something like 140 text messages to one lead. And that was some automation that was going on. And we've seen lawsuits over the years regarding that kind of thing. I actually don't think if you're uploading a list to Facebook and running an ad to those people, I've never seen a lawsuit because if you put a list of, let's say, 5,000 homeowners in Walnut Creek and you run ads, there's no guarantee they're even going to be on Facebook in the week of that ad. So it's really hard to run afoul that way. How do we change the photos to show on a home ad? So if we go back to ads, and I know we're running long here, guys, but I definitely want to answer your questions. So a new listing, buyer ad, yes. So if we go, let's go here to the listings page. And you'll see that I have listings at different statuses, right? I think one is active, one is open house. You might have some just listed. You might have some pending, and you might have some under contract or sold, right? That's just the nature of what happens with listings, right? So usually your MLS will tell us what status it is and we upload it here. But let's say the contract, so I just change this to pending. Now I'm not going to do it because that's actually an open house. However, if I run an ad on an active or open house, the language is ready to capture buyer leads. If I say, okay, now it's pending or sold, the language, the call to action is to get a home value, right? So it's all later stage listings are designed to get you seller leads. Early stage listings, just listed, active, and open house, are designed to get you buyer leads. Again, you don't have to think about it. You just got to make sure your status is there. And then when you run the ad, let's see, I've got an active one here. We've done everything. We've written the text to get buyer leads because this home is for sale. And the question I think Neil had was, how do I change the photos? So let's go look at that. How do I change the photos? We grab the software and we write the ad for you. Okay. So, so here are the photos. Click change template and then click this pencil. And this gives you a little button on top of every photo and you can now update. You can grab a photo from that's sitting in the background of this. Okay. Robin, what is your homework? Yeah, you got that. Okay. New listing, buyer ad. Yeah. New listings usually get buyers. Yes. Yes. Just sold listings, seller leads. Yes, that's right. That's correct. Yes. Just sold sellers. Yeah. For a listing ad, I then would choose a buyer ad. Yeah. Yeah. If you're trying to, a listing ad can get either buyers or sellers depending on what status the home is. If it's the listing is sold, it's going to get seller leads. If the listing is also just listed, it's going to get buyer leads. Okay. And I think I'm looking at the questions, but I answered that a moment ago. Yeah. Let's see here. So custom audience only really needed for seller ads. Yes. And really only needed. Yes. So back on our YouTube channel, and I think I sent this to everybody. Yes, I did. I do a call called Top Tools for More Listings. And this one here, I think it was with Scott, and we really went down a rabbit hole of the listing presentation, which is great. And you should watch that. If you're going to be on a listing presentation, find this that we recorded on August 11th, and it talks about our listing presentation, which is like unstoppable. Okay. But if you go look before at Top Tools for More Listings, I talk about how to farm your area right here. Okay. And that's really critical if you have like an area that you want to develop, right? And so Kelly is saying a custom audience, it's only really needed to target seller lead. Yeah, I think it's really useful and important when you're trying to develop an area like Walnut Creek or whatever city you want to develop, right? You need a list of homeowners and you get their name, phone number, and email so that we can upload that to Facebook and run ads at them. You upload it into your CRM so you can take all of our emails that we've created for you to email once a week for free. And then you take that same list and you mail maybe a just sold postcard or what is your home worth flyer or something like that once or twice a month. That is really a great strategy for farming, right? Which is the purpose of the call called Top Tools for More Listing, which is right here. So you don't have to wait for me to do it again. You can actually just watch it here and see that. I will wrap up. If there are more questions, let me know, but okay. Oh man, there's just way more questions. Sorry. Julian, we will not be sending you a link to this, but this call is recorded and it's actually on our live page right now. So as soon as this thing is finished, we'll upload it and it will be right here. Okay. And let's see here. Yes, all platforms post our listings, impossible to monitor. Yeah, I think, yeah. If we run ads and listings to leads, the leads will be emailed to us. They will also be automatically saved in our CRM, KB Core. Yes, that is right. You connect that, Shasha, on your profile. Okay. There's a place that says CRM integration and Bold Trails is right there. And there's a couple steps and then boom, every lead will still be emailed to you, but you will also, it'll be in your CRM. To upload, we need to be using the LL. No, you don't need to upload the custom audience. You just need to have your Facebook ad account created or connected on the ad play. You don't need to be using our CRM to create a custom audience. This blue button has to be here. And so you do have to click a couple buttons like retargeting and stuff like that here. And then and once it is, we tell you exactly. And I'm going to say something since, there's a bunch of you still on the call. This is really important when you're farming to create a custom audience and what is going on. But there's a really funny little error. So when you buy a list, and maybe you buy it from ListSource or you buy it from Remine or RedX or whatever, if that list, you want to call it whatever the name of your town is and homeowners, right? And then you'll save your spreadsheet in a CSV. You tend to have better luck. But you see here, it's hard to see. The headers have to be exactly the same. Email, number, first name, last name. And the very weird thing that we see happening is sometimes there's a space behind the L or the R here or the E here or the E here, right? There's like an extra space. And so you just need to check and make sure there are no extra spaces, just those characters, just in like that. And then we can upload it and it will live in your Facebook. And it will always be there. Even if you stop working with us, you will have this ability to target your favorite farm markets. Okay. If we run ads, is there analytics report? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So every listing, Sasha, back on the listings page, when you go to market listings, there are a lot of things. And as I said, we're just focused on Facebook right here today, but there are a lot of things that you can do. We create virtual tours. We put a virtual tour on YouTube for you. I'm going to click on this one here. Market listing is where the traffic report is. And if you're running ads or if you're sharing things on social media or you're putting print flyers out or email flyers, all of those things show up on this traffic report. And I think from here to there, and a lot of clients, a lot of agents like that. You can download the report here. Okay. And because it shows the homeowner, hey, this home has been seen 2,000 times. I talked to 20 different leads and they're not buying at this price. Should we talk about price? Right. Like that's a big reason why people want to do this. So everybody, thank you. If there are more questions, let me know. This call is being recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. And there are 3 things that are just knocking it over the fence for our clients: Facebook ads, our open house marketing platform, and our listing presentation. And if you want any of those emails, because I have emails with all the details and the videos that support those 3 things, email me and just say, hey, I'd like videos on. There is a listing presentation ready for all of you. It's awesome. This alone is awesome. It's in print and it's in Flipbook, which is like an online magazine. But you can also create this listing presentation for a particular home. You see how this one says listing presentation? This is for a particular homeowner. And this particular tool, for the last 2 months, I've been talking to agents every day. Everybody that has a listing presentation, I've shown them how to create this. I have a video that shows you how to create it. And they have all won listings from this. One lady who has a small new brokerage account with us has generated 3 listings in 4 weeks by creating a unique listing presentation just like this for each listing. We have clients reaching out to expireds with this. We have clients reaching out to canceleds and getting new listings from that, and even FSBOs. The listing presentation is awesome. Okay. Sasha, thank you. And I hope this helped you guys. If you need a team account, my contact information is on the website. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. You can, if you want to say, hey, I need that open house thing, here's my email address. I'm sending it to everybody right now. If you want top tools for listings, because you're going to be farming, I would get into it. And one last thing about Facebook ads. If you have more questions, please let me know. I've said it, but the price set, it's never $3 every time. It's $2.50, $1. It's set in auction base, both on Facebook and on Google. And where that becomes really important, like right now, Labor Day is coming up, right? And that means all the kids are going back to school. And that means all the realtors are going back to work, right? So you're going to have a lot of competition until everyone starts eating turkey around Thanksgiving and eating mashed potatoes and then taking a nap until spring. And that is a very important time to be running ads, because we have seen in some years, the cost of leads drop by 90%. Okay. When you start building your database with buyers or sellers at 90% off or 50%, which is a little more normal, that's good use of your money. So keep that in mind. You may not be on another call with me, but remember, from Thanksgiving till like March, your competitors are going to be taking a break. That is an awesome time to be building your database of buyers and sellers with Facebook ads. Let's see if you've got anything else here. It would be great if you did a call on lead convert. Yeah. I actually have an email that I wrote about conversion, but it really is, it's basically this, guys. Text your lead until they're ready to talk. Get on the phone to close a meeting and use the meeting to close a signature. Okay. Now, if you're going to text all your leads, great. If you don't know this about lead conversion, it takes like 10 to 15 touches before they're comfortable with you. And those touches could be in email. with a follow-up from your CRM or our CRM, or it could be text AI touching them, or it could be you texting them, right? But after 10 to 15 times, that person's going to say, okay, thanks. I appreciate that. I was just looking, or, hey, I'd really like to talk. That is how you convert a lead. Okay. Marisol. So I have a recommendation from my ad. It says to connect my CRM with conversion to help optimize with conversion. I don't know what conversion API to help optimize quality of leads. How can I do this? I don't know what that is. I don't know what your CRM is. And I can just tell you, like, I'm not sure what that whole conversion thing is there, Marisol, but our AI is converting 11% of our leads from Facebook with phone numbers to phone calls. Okay. So if you're committed to generating 50 leads a month or 100 leads a month or 200 leads a month, figure out what that budget, what monthly budget you're going to need to do that. Choose the AI package to do that. Because if your conversion CRM, the ad is recommending that. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Is it getting recommended inside of our system? Is that what you're saying? Like when you run the ad, it says connect to your CRM. Is that what you're saying? So when I run the ad, it will often tell you use our AI. Like, yeah, what as soon as you run the ad, it'll say sign up for our AI. And I actually highly recommend that if you are going to have a monthly ad budget on Facebook, which if you're in real estate, there's like, that's the number one thing we recommend is having a monthly ad budget for Facebook. Okay. And so when you run an ad, it is in Facebook Ad Manager. I don't know what that is, Marisol, and I don't recommend it. If I don't know about it, it's because we don't know about it. And we have our team, we have Scott, we have our other kind of ad managers, and it doesn't matter what's going on the internet. If there is a way where we can help our clients grow their business, it's going to be in our platform, right? That's just how it is. We've been doing this for 16 years. We started with one tool, one-click posting to Craigslist. As you can see now, this thing is one of the most robust platforms in all of real estate advertising. If if Scott and I were thinking, oh, that little Facebook ad thing is really awesome, we would plug it in. We would find out how to make that work for our clients. So there are always cool, new, shiny things in this industry. Focus on the things that I have been telling you, which is Facebook ads, open house marketing, and our listing presentation. And just those three things will get your business growing. If you want my emails on all those, you have my email there, Vince at Listings to Leads. If you need a team account, reach out to me, Vince at Listings to Leads. And you've got a great support team down over here. Don't forget, all of you, please get into your marketing calendar up here and click on resources over here and get in our mastermind group here and follow all of our YouTube channels here. Sign up for live classes here. But if our schedule doesn't work with yours, watch the recordings on YouTube. And I know it's not exciting to do that, but I can tell you, we have had so many clients go from like rookie to having their own office with 25 agents to doubling and tripling their business, from moving from one state to another and reforming, opening their own office in just a matter of a couple of years. We have had clients generating hundreds of thousands of commission dollars with our platform. And the way they can do that is they learn how to use our system. And this YouTube channel has just so much to help you understand. You're welcome, Jim. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Vince at Listings to Leads. If you want to talk about your ads, you can reach out to me and I'll have a look. Once we've spoken once or twice, you totally get it and you go off and start becoming a marketing guru. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And this will be up on our YouTube channel later today.